Hello and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to put a quick video out there to address something that bothered me on the YouTube the other day. I was I got a bunch of different apologetics and stuff like that, apologists and stuff I listen to, and I enjoy learning from these guys. Some of these guys are super smart, and you might hear my dog over here. He's wanting out, so he's over here being real vocal with me. Let me let him out real quick. Yummy, come on. He's a Mastador. He's Lab Mastiff, and he weighs about 130 pounds. Big, gentle giant. So, and I enjoy learning from these guys. And that's why I started doing this thing. I was really inspired. I wanted to learn more, and I thought by doing teaching, I could learn more and doing these videos. So, I seen one of the ones that calls himself a pastor. I'm not gonna name him because I'm not gonna get into an argument online with somebody that's probably smarter than me. But he got on there, and I seen him put a comment saying, "Comments on, comments off. Nah, if people want to comment, they can be a patron." So, in other words, this pastor only wants people commenting that are paying him. If you're on here to make money or do this as a career or think you're so special, that people want to pay you for to lead them to salvation, then you're the problem on here with when it comes to apologetics and Christians in general. I think that's disgusting. I have seen Mike Winger stop a live broadcast to help lead somebody to Christ in the comments section. I have seen Trinity Radio, Braxton Hunter, stop his show on a live broadcast to lead someone to Christ. And he even has the super chat going on the side and stuff like that. And I've seen them stop their show and sit there and just say, "This is why we're here. Sorry, we're going to sidetrack here and take care of this first because this is more important, adding to the kingdom and getting somebody saved." But you don't want people that aren't saved at it because nobody's going to pay you to follow you. I donate money to people I pay attention to and learn from and listen to a lot because I feel like it's worth supporting their ministry because they're reaching people. And if I put money into their ministry, I'm sowing into their ministry and I'm helping reach more people because they keep doing what they're doing. But if you're doing it for money, don't. You're the worst kind of people on the internet, pretending to be a Christian, trying to take money from people. And I'm not even talking about prosperity preachers. I'm talking about the guys that are just like what I said. Sat there and said, you can want to comment, you can be a patron. I don't even know what a patron really is, except that somehow giving money to each of these organizations. Everybody has them. I'm not really interested in trying to make money off my channel. It's just because I want to learn more, reach people if I can, maybe even if it's one or two. I don't care. I got 2 subscribers at this point in time, and one of them is my son. So I'm doing this for me because I want to learn and I want to get out there, and maybe someday, who knows, maybe I'll get better at this and learn how to study things better. I got a big one I really want to study, which is another thing I wanted to bring up. But back to the original subject. Um, if you're not, if you're trying to make only let people that, how do I put this? If you're on here wanting to just make money, or only people that are worthy of commenting on your thing are the people that give you money, then you're in just for the wrong reason, because your job is to try to reach people and get them saved. Look at the world. It's going crazy fast. Things are going nuts. We don't know how much time we have left. We could have 1,000 years. We could have a day. We could have less. He could be on his way right now. I would hope so. That'd be cool. But point being is we don't have much time. We need to get as many people into the kingdom as possible. Nobody. We don't. You wouldn't want anybody in hell. I don't care how bad or wicked they are. Inspiring Philosophy did this video on the heart of man, I think it was, and it was, I can't. I wish I could remember what it was called. I should have looked it up. I don't know when I was going to bring him up, but man, you want to talk about heart wrenching on how wicked people are, and we wouldn't want. And I mean, they get really wicked. You're like, man, I wouldn't want any of those people to go to hell. So if that's not what you're on here for, then make your show about shoes. I don't care. But not about Jesus, because if you're wanting to force people to pay you to make comments or ask questions, then you're not actually trying to reach anybody. These other people I watch, whether it be What Do You Meme, John with What Do You Meme, or, like I said, Mike Winger or Braxton Hunter, and there's so many more of them. I mean, they're in this to get people saved. They want people into the kingdom. They're not trying to make it rich off being an apologist or a Christian preacher or anything like that. They really just love people and want them saved. They love atheists coming on their channels and non-believers coming on there and questioning them and challenging them. They really enjoy it because they get to really dig deep into what they believe and show what they believe and why they believe it and work on bringing these people to Christ. And there's evidence that it's happening. So if that's you, I did stop following the person, and I'll never follow that person again, because I think that was just that disgusting to me, that that's in your heart, that only people that pay you have a right to comment on your thread. You're going to get hateful people on your threads. You're going to people arguing on your threads. That's just every single channel that has any number of followers. If you have more than 3 followers, you probably got arguments online. And that's just normal, and you got to look past that. Mike Winger has people on his comments just saying horrible, hateful things, and he doesn't bat an eye at it. He doesn't worry about it. Trinity Radio, he's said some of the comments that's come across, not literal word for word, but commented on them and stuff like that. And I can see some of them when I watch his live videos and stuff, and they're horrible. And he doesn't get mad about them. Matter of fact, he prays for those people, wants those people to get saved, because that's what we all are without Christ. We're wicked. We're disgusting. We're evil. Yes, evil. I do not believe people are good that don't have Jesus. Does that mean you can't be a good person? No, but we are wicked at heart. Really look through Inspiring Philosophy's videos and watch a lot of them. It's actually really good videos. It's surprisingly good. And Mike Winger's too. But I mean, just if you're just in this for the money, don't do it. All you do is make the whole church look bad. But now, so the next subject I want to study, this one's going to be hard. A lot of Christians are going to really disagree with me on this one, but I really want to do this study because in my heart, I just really feel like I need to get to the truth of this, because I believe it's not a salvation issue, but it's an important one right up there next to it. It's a strong secondary issue, excuse me. So I'm going to start going through the scriptures, and I already have a bunch I want to use that are for me and against me on this argument. The argument is that I know that Jesus is God. Don't get me wrong. I'll never say he isn't. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost are one. And that is very, very clear to understand in the Bible. There is no way to misunderstand that I can see that they are not one. That it just over and over again says that. But some people believe that Jesus had all his godly powers on earth, and some people believe he didn't. I believe he didn't. I don't believe he could have. I believe everything he did, he had to do through faith and prayer and fasting, just like everybody else. He didn't have any special abilities, special looks, or special way of doing everything. He had to do everything. He had no more ability to do anything than us. Now, granted, I think he had access to more knowledge. He is God. I don't believe he brought all his knowledge with him as Jesus, the man. But I believe he had access to all that through the Father. And don't hurt your head trying to figure that one out, because it just hurts. So we don't have to understand everything right away. I mean, there's things people are trying to explain the Trinity, and just I look at it like I got a body, a soul, and a spirit, but I'm still one dude. So that I just look at it that way, and it keeps it easy for me. So, I believe he had to do everything through faith. I believe he had to walk earth as a man, and that, which is going to bring me to my secondary study, which is going to be even harder and more controversial. I also believe Jesus could sin. I hear so many preachers out there saying Jesus couldn't sin. He's God. He cannot sin. But the Bible over and over again talks about, Jesus being sinless and made it through life without sin, and he was tempted. Even in the Old Testament, you go back there and it talks about, we look at the Passover, which represents Christ. The spotless lamb is the representation of Christ and the sacrifice he made for us. It had to be spotless. That spotless means he was sinless. No leaven in the bread. That the leaven represents sin. So he had to be sinless. It talks about it all through the Old Testament and New Testament, how he was sinless and he is spotless and he was perfect. And if that is such a big deal throughout the whole Bible, and all the prophets and all the apostles and everything, and epistles and everything else, and letters, and Paul talks about it and how he had to be sinless and perfect and fulfill the law, then he had to have sinned, or been able to sin. Not he didn't sin, sorry, but take that back. But he had to be able to sin, or else what's the point? That would be like saying, wow, you can be saved if you're a fish and you can swim in water. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. Of course a fish can swim in water, but I guess that's not a good analogy. What I'm trying to say is, if the God of all creation could not sin, didn't sin, that's not a big deal. Why would that accomplish anything? Of course, God cannot sin. He can't go against his own nature. But it also says that Christ left all that godliness behind and everything and came down as just a man. And I believe that. And I believe he came down as just a man and had the same feelings and desires that we did. But he did it without acting on them inside or out, without sinning. And I believe he could sin. And I believe when it said he was tempted, that means he literally was tempted to do it. But he didn't. And he managed to do it. And I'm sure it took a lot. I mean, he stayed right there with the Father the whole time through his life and so close to the Father that it would have been really hard for him to slip up. But after 30 days of uh, fasting and all that stuff, but yeah, it's pretty easy to get tempted. And I'm sure he looked at women and found them attractive. I don't know. I don't know what was in his head, but I do believe he could sin, and I believe he had to really challenge that. Even his prayer before the cross, if this cup could be taken from me, but not my will, yours. I mean, he was scared. I mean, he was like, man, this is going to be horrible. I'm about to be hurt and be abused and crucified. He knew what was going to happen to him, and he was terrified. And he did it anyway. He saw past the cross and saw us, and for the love that he had for us, he did it. I mean, so yeah, those are two big studies I want to do, and they're going to be hard because I don't really know how to do all that. But that's part of why I want to do this page, and I look forward to maybe some 10 years down the road, I'll still have a page, and I'll be really doing good ones. Like I'll look like Mike Winger. I'll be like, know what I'm doing. Look like I know what I'm doing. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today, and uh, I think this weekend I'm gonna get out and do some multi-pitch climbing with a bunch of friends, and then I'll probably post some videos on my other page, which is the Lost Fountain. So I got the Found Fountain, which is my apologetics page, and the Lost Fountain, which is my outdoor adventures page, because I enjoy rock climbing, hiking, skiing, anything. If it's outdoors, kayaking, whatever, snowboarding, I love it. I love being outside. I love going for hikes with my big dumb dog. I got the coolest. I swear I got the coolest dog in the world. So I was his third owner when I got him, and he was 7 months old and already 90 pounds. So now he's like 120, 30 pounds, and he's a good dog. So, and that dog can out hike anybody. He loves it out there. So I will. Sorry about that. I dropped. So I will probably do a couple of little videos before I get one of those other big ones done. Those are going to take me a while because I got to really study hard for them. And I hope you'll come back and see them. And thank you for coming into my little YouTube page here. And I'm going to learn how to put it out there and hashtag it, I guess is what it's called. I got to learn all this still. So I see people put millions of hashtags on there. And I got to learn how to do that. And as soon as I can, I will. All right. I will see you guys later. Oh, how do I do this?